For centuries, the vast Arabian Peninsula was a land of scorching deserts, nomadic Bedouin tribes, and isolated oases. These tribes, fiercely independent, roamed the desert, their lives dictated by the harsh environment. Loyalty was to the tribe, and conflicts over resources were common. Despite their differences, these tribes shared a common language, Arabic, and a deep faith in Islam. They played a crucial role in the spread of Islam across North Africa, the Middle East, and beyond. From these beginnings, a powerful nation emerged, altering the course of the Middle East and the world. The history of the Arabian Peninsula is replete with tales of tribal wars and shifting alliances. These conflicts, often sparked by disputes over scarce resources or ancient grudges, could last for generations, shaping the political landscape of the region. The vastness of the desert, while a unifying factor in its own right, also served as a breeding ground for rivalries. Communication was difficult and misunderstandings easily escalated into violence. The Ottomans, a powerful empire that controlled much of the Middle East for centuries, exerted a degree of influence over the Arabian Peninsula, but their control was tenuous at best. The tribes, fiercely protective of their independence, often resisted Ottoman rule, launching sporadic rebellions that kept the empire at bay. This constant state of flux and conflict created a complex web of allegiances and rivalries, making it difficult for any one tribe or leader to unite the peninsula under a single banner. In the midst of this turbulent landscape, a new power began to emerge in Central Arabia during the 18th century, the House of Saud. This ambitious family, hailing from the Najd region, sought to expand its influence and bring order to the fractious tribes. Leading this charge was Muhammad bin Saud, who forged a crucial alliance with a religious leader named Muhammad ibn Abd al-Wahhab. This alliance proved to be a turning point in Arabian history. Ibn Abd al-Wahhab preached a strict, puritanical interpretation of Islam that resonated with many in the region who felt that the faith had strayed from its original teachings. This movement, known as Wahhabism, called for a return to the fundamentals of Islam and condemned what it perceived as idolatry and innovation. The Al Saud, in turn, saw in Wahhabism a powerful tool to unite the tribes under a common banner of faith. The early 20th century witnessed the rise of a remarkable leader who would forever change the destiny of Arabia, Abdulaziz bin Abdul Rahman Al Saud, known to the world as Ibn Saud. Born into the Al Saud family, Abdulaziz inherited a legacy of ambition and religious zeal. Forced into exile as a young man after his family lost control of Riyadh, the future king spent years among the Bedouin tribes, learning their customs, earning their respect, and honing his political skills. In 1902, at the age of 26, Abdulaziz embarked on a daring campaign to recapture his family's ancestral homeland. With a small band of loyal followers, he launched a surprise attack on Riyadh, taking the city and laying the foundation for the modern kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Abdulaziz was a shrewd strategist and a charismatic leader who understood the importance of tribal alliances. He skillfully navigated the complex web of loyalties and rivalries, forging alliances through marriage, diplomacy, and, when necessary, force. By the 1920s, Abdulaziz had consolidated his control over most of the Arabian Peninsula. In 1932, he formally declared the establishment of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, with himself as its first king. The new kingdom was vast, sparsely populated, and desperately poor. Its economy was based largely on nomadic herding and pilgrimage to the holy cities of Mecca and Medina. The discovery of oil in 1938 would dramatically alter the country's fortunes. But in those early years, Saudi Arabia faced an uphill battle for survival. Abdulaziz, however, was determined to build a strong and independent nation. He understood that the key to Saudi Arabia's future lay in unity. To this end, he worked tirelessly to foster a sense of national identity among the diverse tribes that made up his kingdom. He promoted the use of the Arabic language, established a system of Islamic law, and invested in infrastructure projects that connected the far-flung corners of his realm. The discovery of oil in commercial quantities in 1938 transformed Saudi Arabia from an impoverished backwater into a global energy powerhouse. The seemingly endless reserves of black gold beneath the desert sands brought unimaginable wealth to the kingdom. Oil revenues funded rapid modernization, transforming the country's infrastructure, healthcare and education systems. Cities like Riyadh and Jeddah underwent dramatic transformations, sprouting skyscrapers, highways and modern amenities. Saudi Arabia's newfound wealth also gave it significant political clout on the world stage. As the world's largest oil exporter, the kingdom became a key player in global energy markets, wielding considerable influence over oil prices and production. The country's strategic importance during the Cold War further elevated its standing, as both the United States and the Soviet Union sought to curry favor with the oil-rich kingdom. Saudi Arabia's transformation from a poor desert kingdom to a global power in the span of a few decades is a testament to the transformative power of oil wealth. Section 7. Behind the Veil, a Closed Kingdom. Despite its growing economic and political might, Saudi Arabia remained largely closed off to the outside world for much of the 20th century. The country's strict interpretation of Islamic law, known as Wahhabism, permeated all aspects of life, influencing social norms, gender roles, and interactions with the outside world. Foreign visitors were rare, and those who were granted entry were subject to strict regulations. Women, in particular, faced significant restrictions, barred from driving, traveling alone, or appearing in public without a male guardian. This isolation was partly a reflection of the kingdom's conservative values and partly a strategic decision to protect its cultural identity in the face of rapid modernization. The Saudi leadership feared that exposure to Western influences would erode traditional values and undermine the social order. This policy of isolation, however, came at a cost. It limited cultural exchange, hindered economic diversification, and fueled perceptions of Saudi Arabia as a secretive and repressive society. Section 8. Vision 2030. Opening the doors to the world. Saudi Arabia has embarked on ambitious reforms led by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, known as MBS. Vision 2030 aims to diversify the economy, empower women, and modernize the kingdom's image. The plan addresses high unemployment, a growing population, and oil dependence. MBS is a polarizing figure, praised for reforms and criticized for authoritarianism. Progress is seen in women's rights, entertainment, and tourism. Women can now drive, travel freely, and work more. Saudi Arabia hosts major events and invests in tourism to become a global destination. Section 9. The Crown Prince's Reforms. The Crown Prince's reforms extend far beyond social changes. He has spearheaded a drive to attract foreign investment, privatize state-owned enterprises, and develop non-oil sectors such as technology, tourism, and renewable energy. The construction of Neom, a futuristic megacity powered entirely by renewable energy, is a testament to this ambition. MBS has also cracked down on corruption, a long-standing problem in the kingdom, and has sought to curb the powers of the religious police, who once held considerable sway over Saudi society. These reforms, while welcomed by many, have also faced resistance from conservative elements within Saudi society who view them as a threat to traditional values. The Crown Prince's assertive foreign policy, particularly his intervention in Yemen and his tough stance against Iran, has also drawn criticism from international human rights groups. Section 10. The Future of Saudi Arabia, a Global Powerhouse. Saudi Arabia stands at a crossroads. The kingdom is undergoing a period of unprecedented change, driven by a combination of internal and external factors. The Crown Prince's ambitious vision. 2030 plan, if successful, has the potential to transform Saudi Arabia into a modern, diversified economy and a global hub for innovation. However, the path ahead is fraught with challenges. The success of Vision 2030 hinges on the kingdom's ability to overcome deeply ingrained social conservatism, attract foreign investment, and create a more open and tolerant society. The Crown Prince's ambitious reforms have generated both hope and anxiety, and the world is watching closely to see how this dramatic transformation unfolds. Only time will tell whether Saudi Arabia can successfully navigate these challenges and achieve its goal of becoming a global powerhouse of the 21st century.